family and my friends are scattered all over the map, and I don't get to spend as much time with them, you know, as I'd really like to. So I started this channel just kind of as a way to, you know, share things that I do. And I have no big designs or big plans. I'm just going to keep doing the things that I do, and I appreciate you guys watching and being subscribed to the channel. I think the things that I've done that have been the most well received are building that longbow and traditional bow hunting and traditional archery, which is awesome because it's definitely a passion of mine. I've never made a self bow or an all wood bow that lasted, you know, more than 50 shots. Here's one that violently delaminated on me. I wasn't happy with the performance of it, and so I went to fiddling with it after the fact and I exploded it. That's a hickory backing strip, and it's perfectly okay. So I saved it, and I'm just gonna cut all this cedar off of here, sand it back down, and then maybe I can use it on something a little more appropriate in the future. But that's not what we're doing here. I really want a bow out of cedar. Eastern Red Cedar grows around here like a weed. I know people can make bows out of it. I've never been able to do it, but I found this one a few weeks ago, and it is, it is dead straight. There's not a wobble in it. There's very few places where the limb was coming out, so there's, it's relatively clean in that regard. It was growing right up against another tree in the center of this big old stand. So I saw that and I couldn't help myself. I had to cut it down. Here's the bigger end that was closer towards the ground. This side is the side that was growing adjacent to that other tree, and it's almost flat. So I really wanted to try to use this as the back of the bow, but I'm worried about, especially that, but all of this stuff. That looks a little cleaner over here, but it's got more of a crowned back to it. It doesn't really matter anyway. I'm probably going to decrown it. Initially, when I cut this thing, I thought, I'll make an English longbow type. But after the turkey hunting that I've done with my longbow the last couple weeks, I realized that I can't shoot that thing comfortably from a blind, and it's only 62 inches and heavily deflex reflexed. So I probably wouldn't ever be able to hunt with something this long, and I might not even shoot it that much. So I thought, well, I'll make an Ishi style bow. You can look that up. It's just like a small bend through the handle D-shaped bow with wide limbs that then take kind of like a willow leaf shape. And people make really nice, short D-shaped bows out of these. And I thought, I'll do that. But I know myself, and I like an arrow shelf. I just do. I don't like shooting off of my hand. So there again, I might be able to do it, but I wouldn't hardly ever shoot it. So I know what I'm going to do, and I don't know if it's going to work or not, because that one didn't. But I'm going to make a flatbow. It's going to be 60 inches long. That's my goal, 60-inch long flatbow. A lot of this is going to get cut off. You can see this is the skinny end that was higher up, and it just looks like garbage. I'm going to probably sinew back it. This has only been cut for probably 2 weeks. I cut it right before I started hunting turkeys. So 2 weeks. So it's not dry by any stretch of the imagination. So what I was thinking is that while it's green, I would rough it out and then use my longbow form or somehow try to cure some reflex into it, you know, let it air dry, force some reflex into it that way. I don't know, but I worry that if I do that with it being, you know, still green, that it'll split or check or something. So I don't know what I'm doing, but I know where I want to go. Right now what I'm going to do is I'm going to get the bark off of it at the very least. So I'm just going to take a draw knife and just peel the bark and the cambium. Instead of watching me just shave bark off of a tree, I will put my most recent turkey hunt in here. So you watch that while I do this. Well, I'm gonna have to shoot from my knees. I was afraid that was gonna happen. Should have brought the recurve. But I wanted to hunt with it, so I guess I'll just have to shoot from my knees in here, which is fine. It's just a little extra movement that I didn't want. Whatever. want as much of this red as we can get. So I'll probably, when I decrown it, I'll probably take it down to like there. So enjoy the rest of the turkey hunting. We'll see you at the end. So I was going to cut it to length on this end, the base of the tree, to get away from these two big nasty limbs. But the top end had this weird dead spot in it. So I started cutting chunks and it was still here. That's 8 inches or so. And this is the sawn off part. You can see it there. I was trying to figure out how to stay away from that, and I wasn't sure I was going to be able to, so I chopped off a few more inches and now it's gone. So this is going to be what we get our bow out of. It's 61, a little bit over 61 inches right now. So I'm not going to rough it out today. It is really wet. Like I said, it's only been a couple of weeks, and leaving the bark on kept most of the moisture in. There was hardly any sap trying to come out through the knots yet. So cap that in with polyurethane, stick it back up there, let it dry down before we rough it out. I wanted to try to force some reflex into it while it was drying, but I really don't want it to crack. So we'll figure the reflex part out later. Maybe we can do that when we sinew it, or maybe we'll steam it or something. I don't know yet. But this is going to be a really long process, so it's just going to have to be mixed in with, you know, other videos. I'll save all the footage and do one, you know, start to finish video when it's all done, but we're looking at, you know, several months of work. I mean, realistically, this bow's not going to be done until this winter, but it'll be ready to go for next turkey season. Thanks for watching.